discussed the quarterback situation on Friday. Let's take a listen.
Trey's going to play for us this year. I mean, whether it's, I know you guys all run into Twitter on that, but like, I mean, that is situationally, he's going to get plays. Like, that doesn't mean that he's going to go be a starter or anything. He's going to get plays, and you got to prepare him for that every way possible. Every receiver who makes our team is going to play this year. I know it's different, but when you have quarterbacks with different skill sets and stuff, it kind of makes it easier for me to look at it similar to other positions, and that's why I don't think it's a problem on our team, and it's not a problem in there when we're discussing what we want to do.
Okay, Coach, is this the right move?
Yeah, this is absolutely the right move, and this is what I believe they were going to do the whole time. Whenever you've got to prepare for two totally different styles of quarterback, it eats up reps in practice. So it'll benefit Jimmy in the sense that you're going to have to spend meeting time, you're going to have to spend practice time, you're going to have to spend time as a staff figuring out how you're going to deal with the skill set that Trey brings to the table. And you can bring him in and use him situationally, whether it's a red zone, whether it's third minute, whether it's or third down, whether it's a change of pace type situation. And it's hard because it is so dramatically different than the package that you're getting from the starter. The way it helps the 49ers is it gets him meaningful play time. And look, he is obviously the future, and now you get him in the games. You get him in the games in a way that he's contributing, and it allows him to develop and allows the guys around him to build their confidence in his ability to operate the system. It's smart, it's the right thing to do, and it's perfect for his development.
You know, I agree, Coach. It also keeps the legs under Jimmy Garoppolo as the leader of this team until he is not. What you don't want to do is create a bona fide quarterback controversy. Competitions are okay. Controversies, not so much. A two-quarterback situation can work. We've seen it work in New Orleans and with Taysom Hill and obviously even with Teddy Bridgewater as well, with Drew Brees. It can work. So I don't think that people should get all bent out of sorts if you're sitting there and you're hearing Coach Shanahan say that he's going to use Trey Lance in these situational moments. You want to get him his reps. I agree with Coach in terms of the preparation. It is hard for a defense to really get their minds wrapped around the fact that they have to go against two different styles in a quarterback. It creates personnel situations. Is it a run type of deal? Is this quarterback a triple threat type of option versus a guy that's more of a pocket passing quarterback? So there are a lot of different things, and just the lack of familiarity with Trey Lance. You know, that's going to play in his part and in his favor as well. But getting those impactful reps, hoping that Jimmy Garoppolo stays healthy and you don't have to put the weight of the entire team on Trey Lance's young shoulders, I think is a great win-win situation for Jimmy Garoppolo to get his value up, play well, and if he continues to play well, they'll probably ride that out until not. And then when Trey Lance is ready, the trade value is there, Trey is prepared, and Jimmy Garoppolo can move on with respect and with good value. So I think it's a win for everybody in this situation, Broussard.
I am shocked at you two football men. Absolutely shocked. I mean, no, this is not the right play. If Jimmy G should be your starter, all right, Jimmy G should play until he either gets hurt, and we know there's a good chance he'll get hurt, or if he doesn't play well. But no quarterback worth his salt wants to have another guy coming in to play on third down, or another guy coming in for gimmick plays here or there, or another quarterback coming in every second or third series. No, Drew Brees did it, yes, but he was 40 years old by that point. He needed a break. He was fine with it at that point. Jimmy Garoppolo is 29. Jimmy Garoppolo still thinks he's got his whole future and career ahead of him. Jimmy Garoppolo is saying, the last time I was healthy, I had us 8 minutes away from winning the Super Bowl. No, this is not the right move. Look, this could be, and I do think it is a good chance Jimmy G gets hurt. And that's when Trey Lance is thrown in. But you don't need to throw him in right away. I wouldn't mind it if this is an Alex Smith Patrick Mahomes situation. It wouldn't hurt Trey Lance, who's only played one game in like the last year and a half, and that was at the FCS level in the Missouri Valley Conference. It wouldn't hurt him to sit for 1 year and learn at the feet of a Jimmy Garoppolo, learn with a top team in the NFC, in my opinion. That wouldn't hurt him at all. But again, he might get thrown in because Jimmy G gets hurt, but I don't think this is good. I think you need one quarterback, especially when you have a winner like Jimmy G, who's 22-8 as the 49ers starter, and those same 49ers, same coaching staff, same running game, all of that, same defense. They're 7-27 without Jimmy G over the last 4 years. So he's not Aaron Rodgers, but something about this dude gets wins in San Francisco. I think it should be him until he gets hurt or just stops playing well this season.
Yeah, but Jimmy G's always hurt. He's missed 39 games in the last 3 seasons. So you can't rely on Jimmy G. So is Jimmy G worth his salt? Sure, when he's available, but he's never available, so therefore he's not worth his salt. I like Jimmy G a lot, but he's not a reliable player, which is why Trey Lance is in the building to begin with. So because of what you mentioned, the fact that Trey Lance is very raw and has only played 1 game in basically a year and a half, you do need to get him out there a little bit, get him in game time situations. And how can you do that without completely derailing the locker room, to LeVar's point, without creating a quarterback controversy, because the fan base obviously wants to see Trey Lance. You put him in situations where he can do what he does. Because Jimmy G and Trey Lance are such different players, have different styles, putting him in these situational plays is a perfect way to get him reps because he needs it, because he is so raw. See what he has, what is really going to be available to you moving forward, because he is the future. And make sure he has some feet on the ground, because Jimmy G is always injured. And if they do have to put him out there, they don't want to put him out there completely raw, not having played in a game in the last year and a half, and then he has to go in and start because Jimmy G is hurt. So I actually think this is the perfect way to solve all of your problems. You get him some reps in a way that doesn't completely derail the locker room and make Jimmy G feel like this is not his team, even though Jimmy is fully aware that he is not the future anymore. They gave up a lot to move up and get Trey Lance. Jimmy is aware this is his last year with the 49ers. It might not even be his last full season with the 49ers, because if he plays well and someone gets injured, then they feel like Trey Lance is capable. They may trade him mid-season. So there's a lot of things, moving parts, that Shanahan is trying to balance here. But putting him in situational plays where he can play the type of ball that he plays, which is very different than what Jimmy G does, is the perfect situation for the Niners. I think it's a great move that he did it. I also think it's good that he said he's going to do it, so that it doesn't become a shock to everyone when they put him out there and then it becomes a conversation of, oh, are they turning the team over? No, he needs reps. He's very raw. He's obviously the future. Jimmy G is aware of his situation and standing with the team because of what they gave up to get him. This is a perfect scenario for everyone.
Yeah, to your point, Joy, no quarterback worth of salt is in a situation where the team trades away 3 first-round draft picks to go get another quarterback.
Exactly.
That tells you everything they know, or everything you need to know about how they feel about Jimmy G. And I'm glad you brought up Alex Smith, because Alex Smith was there with Colin Kaepernick, and Colin Kaepernick got meaningful reps early on and was such a different type of player that it caused fits for defenses. And you got to understand, there's only so much time in a week to prepare for a team. And when you've got to commit the energy as a staff to stopping a totally different style of player, and then you've got to commit meeting time and you've got to commit reps, it helps you so much, because that's reps that you can't commit to Jimmy G. And so it does have real strategic value there. And then you brought up the Drew Brees point. Do you think Drew Brees was excited about coming out, even though he was at the age that he was at? Do you think Drew Brees thought, oh, I need a rest? No, Drew Brees appreciated the value of a team having to prepare for a totally different style. And look, if he goes in and he plays well, they're going to be screaming for Trey Lance. This is he may start much sooner than we expect, because the second it goes bad with Jimmy G, that young guy's getting in and they're moving forward.
Broussard started the worth the salt conversation. Both you, Coach, and Joy used it again. So I'm going to repurpose salt and add T on the end. Salt T is what Jimmy G should be in San Francisco. And that's because, you know what? When Jimmy G took them to the Super Bowl,